Artifact Dig, Primary Excavation. The primary excavation site houses the ancient burial chamber. The discovery of this chamber unearthed the stone tablets, soul cube, and many other valuable artifacts. Hello. Remember to stopkillinggames.com. It's almost 2025. We can still make it. This guy's voice is different, and last time I said the year is coming to an end. It almost has. But Doom 3 isn't. Well, I also went and checked out whether... what was the video disc that I apparently missed out on in that egg chamber? But it turns out that it's one that we already have. It's like a repeat of content for some reason if you didn't pick up that specific disc back in the previous area. But we did, so we didn't miss anything. And when I was looking for information about what was on that disc, it turns out I found out that we only have like 2 more hell levels to go through, and that would track because we are at episode 44, 46, something like that, almost 50, which means the shorter games usually should end at around that point. So yeah, indeed, it would soon enough. Can we go up or down? Can we? There we go. Right, so this is clearly a boss fountain. Have I picked up everything from here? We are not worried about the pistol, we are not worried about the SMG max. This isn't maxed out, well, that's a bummer. Is there anything else here? Boss fountain, yeah, because we're gonna fight a boss. That's 50 grenades, yeah, of course. We're gonna, I think we might work with the missile launcher because there's a lot of it left, and maybe hit a boss with a BFG, of course. That's one thing. So we're basically ready to finish it, and also, of course, it's not really ending. Doom 3 isn't, because it's got an expansion, and I will play it because I haven't played it before, and it won't have the lighting mod for the shotgun and SMG, because the guy that modded this mod game, the base game, didn't know how to mod it in the expansion, so we're not getting that in the expansion. Very cool. What a hacker he is. Disappointing. Okay. Next thing, out of the blue, I saw a video of a girl who says it's humiliating because she's walking around and leaving her resumes in businesses, just going door to door asking if they're hiring. It's humiliating because she's got 2 degrees in communications and acting, and also knows 3 languages. And of course, I also saw the reactions to that video, where people say, of course, that fucking liberal zoomer leftist kid with no work experience is complaining that finding a job is humiliating because she's got useless degrees. And as far as I might agree that communications, I don't know what that is really, and might not be the most useful, and the world still can utilize actors, right? There's still demand for those people because all the actors are dying out and someone has to replace them. Still, maybe not the trade, not the most... Oh, that's the 4th one that we haven't seen in the... Yeah, we've gone over this. There's only 3 tablets in the room, and this is the 4th one, I guess. Oh no, is this a copy? Is this one that wasn't brought over? Anyway, we've seen this video actually. We listened to it once, watched it on our datapad. Oh, there's more. Are those copies? The ones that were brought over? Probably. Because, you know, they're more important. It's important that they remain here in their original location so that the context is preserved. Right, what was I saying? Ah, right, that she doesn't have an education in engineering, in science, I guess, in... Oh snap, that can be good. Also, this looks like a tomb, and that makes a sound. Okay, it's fine. That looks like a tomb. Reminds me of Alien, actually. You know, the space jockey that's got a chest burst. A hole in the chest, yeah. Cool one, and a big one too. Probably holds the Doom guy from Doom 2, maybe, I'm sure of that. Yeah, it's big, very bulky, but not necessarily bigger than a human, because, you know, you have to fit a human, but also probably the walls are thick. Well, either or. I mean, we evolved apparently from this population, so... And there's no genetic evidence for that either. That's not interactable, and I'm not zooming in to read that. Right, engineering, science, something like plumbing, electric engineering, the trade or whatever, right? The very something like that. The important, whatever that is, coding. Did I mention that? IT. She doesn't have education in that, so her degrees are not of the top priority on the job market right now, I guess. However, knowing 3 languages, that's a skill and a valuable one at that, especially since you barely know one, because she's American. It wasn't that she's British, and it's not like the British have a better excuse. So you people barely know 1 language, meanwhile she knows 3, and that's a valid and useful skill that you would expect in this international world would find a use or a demand again. And also, who would want to work with the skill that they know, that they've invested in? 3 languages, dude, at least 2 foreign. I'm pretty sure that's what she meant. And even not, if 3 foreign, that's even better for her. And who wouldn't want to work with the skills that you've honed, right? Either as some sort of mediator or just a translator or localizer or whatever. So at least that's an important thing that no one noticed, no one talked about. Everyone talked about the useless degrees that she's got. And also, you know, the more boomer you are, the more complaining you would make about how you just went off the street, entered an establishment, started working, had a firm handshake with the boss, and you were hired without any education. And also after a year of working like that, you were able to afford a house. Meanwhile, now we cannot. So, yeah, she's not as useless as people would criticize her for. So there's that. In other people, and also women, of course, on the social media, I saw an account of a certain person, and she's getting into chess. What's important about that is that you could say she's documenting it, especially by sharing it on social media, but also she shares pictures, not only screenshots from online games, but also how she learns about it, like sharing books or things like that. The important thing is she shared a picture of her. I hope I'm not missing anything, because architecture is getting tight again, reminding me of Jedi Outcast and final Yavin, actually. Yavin level. Yeah. Yavin level, yeah, tight corridors and the old bricks and the old temple. Yeah, that's reminiscent. This game came first, I'm pretty sure. No, probably not. Anyway, let's not dwell on that. Yeah, but it reminds me, because I played this later. Anyway. Oh, I think I missed out on a thing over there. Why are you carrying a shotgun? It's a trash weapon. I specifically disavowed it. Alright, we need to fight the techno demon. Man, that's a strong framing. You walk in between. Oh snap! What's that? Oh, it's the double-headed thing. Oh snap! You jump like an imp too. Okay, that's cool. Strong framing with the. Oh, fuck off! There we go. Strong framing with us, unknowingly walking in between this demon's legs. What is it? Techno demon? Cyber demon. That's what it's. Oh right. In the middle there's a pit. But we can go all the way around. Right, we got him a little... Oh, shit. Fuck off. We have plenty. I think this is a final boss. Might be. Probably not. I said there are 2 levels. Hell levels. And is the... Ah, fuck. Oh, right, I could use that, actually. At least most of it. Is this final boss, or is the dragon gonna be a boss as well? Or is it the boss from the expansion? Right, documenting her journey. He took pictures of herself taking notes on chess. It's astounding to me, because who the fuck takes notes to learn how to play chess? How I learned to play chess was by playing chess and seeing moves being done. Although I'm not claiming that I'm master level, I do claim that you don't really have to take notes to play chess. Fuck. Blast him. Oh, nice. Oh, that went far. That's fine. So, taking notes to play chess. I don't take notes to learn to play anything. And I hope to get to... Fuck. To get to the point where I talk about playing Darkest Dungeon. Because that's gaming related. So yeah, taking notes to play chess. And for instance, I didn't take notes to play Pokemon, as I talked about that I do. That is to say that play Pokemon cards. So I didn't take notes about that. Man, if only I knew better where are my buttons, or what weapons is under what button. Right, blast him. Nice. Alright, I should reload that. Now I'm low on health, but I still have a Q. Right. Got him. Reload, and that's 4 shots actually, so basically 1 shot. The gun is 1 shot. Alright. Another hit. Another one bites the dust, but it's not the one that we need. It's still not the boss kill. Am I supposed to hit some weak spot for him to start being vulnerable because I'm not getting good enough feedback that... No, the aiming reticle does turn red, right? When I hit him. Right. No chains, no. Right, got him, I guess. Let's utilize that. Got a hit. Oh, there we go. Man, the music was very toned down here. What's the point that I was supposed to hit him with the soul cube 3 times and nothing else mattered? I like the design too. He looks pretty cool with the tail off the back. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's this support. Yeah, there we go. What? Yes, sir. He's dead. Oh. What about Dr. Petruger? He's nowhere to be found, sir. Why the fuck were we there and not at the end of the complex, I guess? That's the dragon I was talking about, by the way. We've been here the first time around when we came to Hell. And the music's going again. That's fine, I'm gonna talk about talk over it. And we're gonna fight that guy in the expansion, is the idea. So, taking notes. Taking notes. When I joined Pokemon TCG Live recently, at least this year, let's say, that's about to end. I did not take notes. I knew how to play Pokemon because I read the instructions, because I played it with my pal. Analogly, in a way that's analog as opposed to digitally. So I knew how to play that. There's a tutorial in the game, and you just make moves. And, you know, it's not that everyone gets the same card, so the tactic is based on your deck. So, at worst, or at the best, I guess, you have to, well, you have to know how to play your deck, and how to play about people's deck, other decks that you're gonna come across. So there are more variables. So you could say that it's more difficult than playing chess, because you have to know your strengths and find weaknesses in a guy's deck that you've never seen before. And I didn't take notes on that either. I just, after some time, remembered some decks and knew how to tackle them or work around them. With that, of course, it's not that I made all my decks. I'm proud of making 2 decks that are quite functional and I do get wins with. You could find information about the most popular or most successful decks and how to play those decks. Oh, that's all the credits? That's pretty fast. We could jump into the expansion, but that would be another episode and I'd feel better starting off there. That was a very short credits fucking thing. Can I run it again to run my mouth some more? That's a full sequence? Or can I just do that? Let's go with that. Maybe that's longer. Or maybe it will loop and we're gonna end up with nothing or nowhere as well. Oh, this time you can see that the Mars is sticking out of the 5x4 or 4x3, I don't really know, framing for the game. That's not accounted for this time. Interesting. So, when I find the guys that play the deck, make a deck and decide to play it, they mostly show how the game went, a bunch of games, and say, I've got this draw and right now I'm looking for this and I think that's a good move and the enemy is gonna do that or have that, something like that. But they're generally not talking about how this deck is about. Well, they do in the first place, but for instance, when you draw your first 7 cards, they don't talk about, alright, I've got these cards and I generally want to do this with this deck right now. So in this situation, for instance, I would hold on to my hand instead of trying to discard it to draw all new cards, right? Whether it's dependent on how many good cards or useful cards you've got in the hand right now, maybe you should discard them anyway because you've got some sort of way to draw back from the discard pile and you're gonna get there eventually, so it's fine. Or maybe you should actually avoid discarding any cards altogether, or as little as possible, really. There aren't really many of those tips, especially when you're just trying to make a bunch of decks, or if you just do have a lot of decks to play with. However, there's a guy who talks about there's a guy who interviews other players who have their successful decks and they actually talk about some strategies, but I mentioned that before once. There's a guy who talked about Regi Drago deck and he says, oh, if you come across Lugia matchup, well, that's a difficult matchup, but essentially all you need to do is target that Pokemon, but to do that all you need to do is have better hand than them and have better draws than them and get the cards that you need faster than they can get the cards they need, and all you need to do is win. Very simple. So that's not really helpful. Even though you're talking about specific matchups, you're not talking about the broad strokes like this is the pattern that you should stick to. You should generally throw away your hand or generally keep your hand. And also with that, even in those situations, I was not taking notes. Back to the subject. She's taking notes. I wasn't taking notes. I'm not taking notes. I'm not taking notes on Black on the Darkest Dungeon either. And there are things to note in Darkest Dungeon. Well, there are and there aren't. And there are... Have we circled back to the thing? Maybe. I don't want to use contradictory statements like that. There are things to note about the game, but you can do without. Recently I lost my leper, and I'm upset about that because he was level 2 already and I spent money on him. And, you know, time is invested and now I miss a good hitter that I have to rebuild and spend my money on. And I'm on a back foot because I didn't know the mechanics well enough, but I made my microblogging post asking how much food should I take with me, because I took a full stack, settled down, rested, fed the people, and they ended up being hungry anyway. How much more food do they need? And I looked for information like that. How much does the game obscure from you? How much does the game not tell you? And someone had a similar complaint about, for instance, interacting with curios, which are objects in the world as opposed to items that you're carrying with you. And some of the replies from the smug people say, oh, you don't know what item to use or how to do things? Well, just experiment with the game. Yeah, you can't really do that. That's not a valid point. Even though I might admit that at least I forgot that you can use items that you carry with you in your inventory on the objects in the world to see what different effects they've got. It's not the type of game that you look back to from your youth, that you're nostalgic about, where you and a bunch of your friends bought the same game because you were excited about the title because there was... Anyway, you got the same game and played it in your social circle, and then you played it at home, and then you came back to school the next day and exchanged information with your friends and someone said, oh, I don't know how to beat that boss, and some other guy says, oh, I did this and that, and that could help you, maybe try that. And, oh, I didn't do that, I'll try that myself, now I know. Or maybe you're like, you could use some ammo and there is a secret area over to the left from where you started. Maybe you could backtrack there and pick up something that you were missing, and now you will have a better chance of winning. Oh yeah, I didn't find that place, so now I can. You know, in Darkest Dungeon, you come across a bunch of items that have percentage chance of having something happen, and also items that you can use on them that change the results. So it's not that you went to a bunch of dungeons, interacted with a bunch of objects, and now you've got irrefutable proof of what's gonna happen when you interact with the object. No, you don't, because you would have had to go home, play the game, and then come back the next day to school to tell your friends, oh yeah, I ran that dungeon 100 times and I interacted with that curio 100 times, and I noted all the effects of me trying to use it, so here are the percentages. Here are the chances and here are the effects. And your friend would say, oh yeah, now I see, because I tried that curio also 100 times and I tried using this item on it, and the results are the same. So we now know that it's not something that helps. But your third friend, well, second friend and third person would say, oh yeah, that curio, I know what you mean. I did it 100 times as well and I used a different item, so here are the chances of other things happening when you use that. And now we have the 100% knowledge about the mechanics from exchanging information about the game in a social circle. And of course you're gonna repeat all that for the next curio and the next area with different curios and even maybe different characters, of course. Of course not, that's not a valid approach to just try things out. However, of course, this game is not too new anymore, and it's a solved game. Everyone either read the code, or there is 100,000 people playing these things and pooled their resources eventually and reported their results on the internet to such a degree that there is a website to which you can go and select where you're going, for how long, and the database is gonna spit out what items you need to take with you, how many of them, what curios are you gonna come across, what to use on them, and what are the results of you using the item or not. And on one hand, the argument would be that you bought the game, you spent your hard-earned money on it, so it should provide you with a lot of entertainment to make it worth your while, instead of spending a lot of money on a game that you play for very little time and will, quote, need, unquote, to move on to something else. It's fine that the game can keep you interested, but I don't think it's fine that it keeps you in by obfuscating information about it or about itself. So is it fair to just buy a new game and immediately go online to search all the solutions for the problems in the game? Is that how we're supposed to play the games anymore? Because now you're in a bigger social circle and you don't have the time to play the game, and your friends are playing something else. So now more people are playing different games and no one is there to communicate and exchange information with you offline, and yet the game is built such that it would require you to pool resources with someone else. Alright, I don't know if the credits have looped back on themselves enough times, but I'm gonna close it off here. That was Doom 3. Next time I'm gonna play the expansion, something of hell. See you then. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully we will see each other in something I play for you for free in the next year. And in the meantime, interact with this video and every other video on my channel, preferably by watching and sharing it with your friends. Check out the RGB rave near the video player around the like and subscribe button. And if you don't like the content, it's entirely your fault.